before the lip kits, before the billion-dollar brands, before the social media takeovers and the tabloid headlines, there was Kris Jenner. A woman once dismissed as just another Beverly Hills housewife. Now, she's the architect of the most controversial fame empire in modern history. The Kardashians have been called many things: trendsetters, influencers, moguls, and manipulators. But what if everything we thought we knew was just the surface? What if their success was built not on glamour, but on scandal? Not on authenticity, but illusion? Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the empire that changed fame forever. This is the dark truth behind the Kardashians' fame. To understand the Kardashian empire, you have to start at the root. Before the millions of followers, before the reality show empire, before the scandals, the surgeries, the memes, there was Kris Jenner. Born Kristen Mary Houghton on November 5, 1955, in San Diego, California, Kris didn't come from wealth or status. Her parents divorced when she was still young, and she was raised by her mother and stepfather. Her childhood was far from the glamour and chaos we associate with her today. It was ordinary, suburban, simple. But Kris had one thing that couldn't be taught: a hunger for influence. In her early 20s, she became a flight attendant for American Airlines, and that job gave her access to a world few regular women from San Diego ever saw: powerful men, glamorous destinations, wealthy passengers. It was here that she began observing how influence worked, how charm, connections, and presence could open doors that money alone couldn't. That's where she met Robert Kardashian, a well-connected Armenian-American attorney with rising ambitions. Their first meeting didn't spark fireworks, but destiny had its own timeline. They reconnected years later, and by 1978, Kris and Robert were married. She was 22. He was already making moves in LA legal circles and had ties to celebrity clients and football star O.J. Simpson, who would later play a major role in reshaping the family's image. From their marriage came 4 children: Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, and Rob. The kids were raised in privilege: private schools, expensive vacations, a Beverly Hills lifestyle. But they weren't famous. Not yet. Then came the divorce. And with it, the next major chapter in Kris's climb. Kris didn't stay single long. Just months after her divorce from Robert Kardashian was finalized in 1991, she married Bruce Jenner, an Olympic gold medalist and one-time American sports hero. With Bruce came more children: Kendall and Kylie. The family was now fully blended, combining Hollywood clout, athletic royalty, and a rising taste for visibility. By the mid-90s, Kris had what every entertainment manager dreams of: a diverse cast of characters all living under one roof. What she needed next was a platform. But first, fate would give her a taste of the spotlight. Because in 1994, her ex-husband, Robert Kardashian, re-entered the public eye in the biggest trial of the century. The world changed in 2007, and so did the Kardashians. But let's rewind. By the early 2000s, Kim Kardashian was already circling fame like a satellite waiting to lock into orbit. She wasn't a singer, she wasn't an actress, but she was present. Stylish, attractive. She was a celebrity stylist and personal shopper. Her A-list clientele included Brandy Norwood, which is how she met Ray J, Brandy's younger brother and an R&B artist. They dated, traveled, got intimate, and at one point, on a vacation to Cabo San Lucas, they filmed themselves having sex, a private tape. Or so they thought. In early 2007, that tape was leaked and picked up by Vivid Entertainment, a massive player in the adult film industry. Overnight, Kim went from being a B-list socialite to a global headline. She sued Vivid. They settled. She got $5 million. But by then, the video, titled Kim Kardashian Superstar, was already one of the most watched adult videos of all time. What most people saw as humiliation, Kris Jenner saw as a launch opportunity. Some say Kris was horrified. Others say she was orchestrating every move. In fact, Ray J later claimed he had a written deal with Kris Jenner and had given her 3 different versions of the tape to choose from. He alleged Kris picked the most flattering cut of her daughter's sex tape before agreeing to distribute it. Kris denied it. Kim denied it. But the timing, too perfect. Just weeks after the sex tape went viral, E! announced a new reality series, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Coincidence? Maybe. But some say it was one of the most ruthless PR moves in entertainment history. When Keeping Up with the Kardashians debuted in October 2007, most thought it would last a season or two. Just another reality show in a post-Simple Life, post-real-world world. But they were wrong. So wrong. From the jump, KUWTK was not about talent. It wasn't about story arcs or polished characters. It was about access. Access to a real, chaotic, luxury-laced, filter-free life. Or so it seemed. The show followed Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney as they fought, cried, argued over clothes, flaunted their glam, and rolled their eyes at Kris. And viewers? They couldn't stop watching. The brilliance wasn't in the plot. It was in the formula: display luxury, amplify drama, maintain relatability. The sex tape that could have destroyed Kim's life instead became the center of her brand. Kris Jenner didn't just salvage the situation, she turned shame into strategy. Kris wasn't just mom, she was the momager, a media tactician. She negotiated magazine covers, endorsement deals, and red carpet appearances. She treated fame like a commodity, and the Kardashians were her product. By the end of season 1, the Kardashians had gone from that sex tape family to a bona fide reality brand. And the message was clear. Scandal wasn't an obstacle, it was the business model. Once the Kardashian brand took off, the next move was inevitable: monetize attention, but they didn't start with fashion or skincare. They started with something darker. Insecurity. America had fallen in love with Kim's look. But was it real? Her body, voluptuous yet toned. Her face, flawless, contoured, glowing. Suddenly, women everywhere wanted to look like Kim. But achieving that was impossible, because it was artificial. By 2009, rumors were rampant. Butt implants, nose jobs, cheek fillers, Botox, laser treatments, all denied. Instead, the Kardashians claimed it was makeup tricks and clever angles, and so began one of the most profitable lies in beauty history. They launched beauty lines, promoted weight loss teas, and endorsed waist trainers. Each product came with an unspoken promise: use this, and you can be one of us. But no product could replicate surgeries, filters, glam squads, and airbrushing. It was an illusion, and America bought it anyway. But no product exposed the Kardashian business model like quick trim. In the early 2010s, Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe became the faces of this so-called miracle weight loss supplement. Ads ran everywhere. Billboards, magazines, talk shows. They claimed it helped them stay slim, toned, beautiful. Millions of women bought it, desperate to look like the sisters. But behind the glam was nothing but caffeine and herbal junk. No science, no sustainable results, just a marketing ploy. Soon, lawsuits rolled in. A group of women sued the company and the Kardashians for false advertising. The case made headlines, not just because of the deception, but because it revealed the Kardashian formula. Step 1, identify an insecurity. Step 2, flaunt a fantasy solution. Step 3, sell the cure. Step 4, deny everything. It was powerful. It was ruthless. It was wildly profitable. And it wasn't just quick trim. That same pattern would show up in lip kits, contour palettes, detox teas, and shapewear. They weren't selling products. They were selling aspiration wrapped in shame. While Kim dominated early headlines, a quieter force was rising. Kylie Jenner, from teen reality star to social media queen, Kylie grew up in front of the lens. Her transformation was slow, then sudden: fuller lips, tighter features, darker skin tone. At just 17, she denied surgery, claiming it was just lip liner. The truth? Fillers, admitted later. But by then, her lip kits had launched and sold out in minutes. The fantasy had already been sold. Kylie wasn't selling lipstick. She was selling identity. And her fans, mostly young girls, were chasing something unattainable: a filtered fairy tale with real-world consequences. Kendall, often branded the natural one, avoided the family's reality drama for a while. Signed to Wilhelmina at 13, she broke into high fashion, walking for Chanel, Balmain, and Victoria's Secret. But the illusion didn't last. In 2017, she starred in a now infamous Pepsi ad that appeared to trivialize real-world protests and police brutality. Backlash was swift. The ad was pulled. Kendall apologized tearfully on KUWTK. But the damage lingered. Even in high fashion, Kendall couldn't escape the family brand. Controversy was currency, and every mistake, another storyline. Now Kim's relationship with Kanye West wasn't just romance. It was a merger. He rebranded her. Gone were the club dresses. In came Balmain, Givenchy, and Vogue covers. They became fashion royalty. But cracks appeared. Kanye's public struggles with bipolar disorder, his political rants, his presidential bid, it all took a toll. Kim, meanwhile, evolved. She launched Skims, studied law, advocated for prison reform. The sex tape girl was now lobbying presidents. Their divorce in 2021 was the end of an era, but for Kim it was just another reinvention. Pain became product, loss became leverage. In 2016, the fantasy shattered. Kim, attending Paris Fashion Week, was robbed at gunpoint, tied up, gagged, locked in a bathroom, over $10 million in jewelry stolen, including her engagement ring. The trauma was real. Production on KUWTK halted. Kim vanished from social media, even Kanye broke down, hospitalized shortly after. The robbery changed everything. Fame no longer felt safe. The Instagram perfection, once a strength, became a vulnerability. But still, the brand survived. Because when you sell fantasy, reality is just a rebrand away. In 2021, Keeping Up with the Kardashians ended after 14 years. But the story wasn't over. Hulu announced The Kardashians, a sleeker, more cinematic show with tighter control and bigger paychecks. Each sister now helmed her own empire. Kim had Skims, Khloe, Good American, Kourtney, Poosh, Kylie Cosmetics, and Kendall, a high-fashion career. Even controversies became calculated. Kylie's relationship with Timothée Chalamet, Kim's acting debut in American Horror Story, Kendall's Met Gala looks. It wasn't just fame anymore, it was dominance. For years, critics asked, why are the Kardashians famous? The real question is, how are they still famous? In the age of algorithms, they understand attention better than politicians, CEOs, even pop stars. They turned humiliation into headlines, pain into PR, shame into sales. They didn't invent insecurity, but they sure learned how to monetize it. They mastered the art of being unavoidable. Behind every filter is strategy, behind every scandal, a plan. Behind every sister, Kris Jenner, momager, mastermind, mogul. The Kardashians didn't just chase fame, they engineered it, and we bought every second. Love them or loathe them, the Kardashians rewrote the rules of fame. But at what cost? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Has their influence helped society or hurt it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a deep dive like this one. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical.